All right, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news, breaking news. It's coming this weekend. Prepare at all costs. Donald Trump is bluffing before imminent airstrikes, surgical precision attacks, massive regime change in Iran. Do not be fooled. Donald John Trump is in position now. The entire U.S. military and naval fleet, the USS Abraham Lincoln, having been deployed from the Indo-Pacific, unconventional warfare, special ops on the ground and in the water, ready to go. This is an emergency alert. Please like and share. I am your general. We're going to get into all of this and a whole lot more. God bless you all. You are living through trying times. You are living through absolute amazing times. We also have huge developments from NATO. European troops are now officially on the ground in Greenland. This is incredibly dangerous as Canadian, British troops, German troops are now on the ground. And it appears that NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, that Donald Trump has threatened to remove the United States from, may in fact be positioned to defend Greenland from a hostile takeover by the United States government, either militarily or through the preferred mechanism of a kind of 21st century Louisiana purchase. The estimates are it'd be $700 billion plus. Of course, the United States government already has positioned military assets and bases in the Arctic zone, very fearful that Russia and China will do it if we don't. It's a highly hotbed contested area. Of course, very easy for Vladimir Putin to launch hypersonic nuclear weapons at the United States across Alaska and that part of the very hotly contested zone. Also, we have fighter aircraft jets have also been sent in to Greenland. So this is all developing now. This is massive, massive, hard-hitting, and in-your-face news. Now, let's think about what's happening here because Donald Trump likes to play 5D chess. We know, for example, he always hits and strikes over a weekend. Markets close on a Friday, chaos erupts. We saw this in the crypto market not too long ago. We had that big flash crash. It was due to a Donald Trump Chinese tariff announcement, I believe. And the whole market crashed on a Donald Trump post. Okay, again, Donald Trump strikes 3 nuclear proliferation facilities, which I predicted over a weekend, sends decoys out, and then hits hard, runs his operations. You got to understand, Donald Trump's an up-only guy, okay? He loves when the stock market goes up and only up. So he doesn't like to strike when the markets are open. He's old school. He only strikes when the markets are closed. So this cat and mouse game, this game of chicken, this game of Uno, 5D underwater basket weaving freaking chess, juggling a ball and jumping through hoops of fire at the same time, spinning around in a freaking hula hoop, is all a part of the PSYOP and the plan. Also, major warning this weekend, a false you-know-what could be declared. Again, they're going to need to onboard the American people in the westernized world to justify a strike. So understand that. And I said this yesterday too, if Donald Trump doesn't act after he's been telling us of all the atrocities of the alleged regime of Iran and just all the terrible things, allegedly, that they're doing over there. I mean, for Donald Trump not to the very least surgically strike will make him look like a fool because they've already prepared the American people's mind And the mainstream media has already brainwashed every single American and westernized citizen that there's horrors and atrocities, and the protester body bags are filling the freaking streets, and there's rivers of you know what, plasma running through the cities. So for Donald Trump not to strike would make him look like a fool. That's another reason why we know he's going to strike. Now, again, Donald Trump loves to bluff. He would never tell you what he's going to do. He is a master negotiator. He is the art of the deal making. Okay, he's the you're fired president. So understand this. This reality television, as we kind of get into the entertainment chaos, fiesta of a fake news mainstream media, and Donald Trump on a whim, what people call the madman, making sudden announcements left and right. I mean, this has been what's been going on for a long time. Tariff this, don't tariff that. Oh, no tariffs. Hey, buy the market, pump it up, put it down. Oh, we're going to tariff China, crypto crashes. So again, this is all a part of the mechanical operation to keep people on their toes. But most importantly, keep the American people in panic. Again, the more fear and the more uncertainty, and the more lockdowns, and the more panic, and the more wars, and the more everything that's going on, the easier it is for the deep state to control the American peoples. Every move, as they move into the hegemonic surveillance state of 2030. So Donald Trump's smart, and again, God bless our great president. He's not going to tell you when he hits. So don't be surprised if we get a false event to justify it, a Reichstag, okay, or something here, whatever it might be. I told you that the Verizon wireless, T-Mobile cellular operation that went down just a couple days ago was actually the United States. Why? Because they're putting those areas of D.C. and New York, which were primarily affected, into darkness. So there's confusion, and they're confusing the enemy, and especially the spies that are in the United States, diplomats from other countries. Donald Trump wants to keep these people on their toes. Okay, so we're living in very exciting times, but understand, Trump ain't through with Iran. Iran has always and will be the final target. It will be an absolute decapitatory mission. It will be executed precisely with vigor, and it will be executed through unconventional warfare tactics as drones fill the sky of Iran, just like Donald Trump captured Nicolas Maduro and his wife. Again, the amount of chaos the American people have been put through in the world at large, and just the ICE attacks and everything that's going on. Again, this is all a part of the chaos. Now, I also explicitly predicted that Donald Trump would be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. He was yesterday. And in addition to that, I specifically predicted November last year that the Insurrection Act would be declared when no one else had ever mentioned it. Donald Trump threatened yesterday to declare the Insurrection Act. And in addition to that, Elon Musk, as my predictions continue to be fulfilled, also jumped on that train saying, yes, the Insurrection Act should be declared. So again, what do we have coming? Civil unrest, protests, chaos, strikes on Iran, right? Greenland in focus, a big target on its face. Donald Trump says it's necessary. We must have Greenland. Okay, so understand, this will be fulfilled. This is the plan. It has always been the plan. So trust this plan, trust where we are headed, trust where this is going. Very, very interesting. And again, you've got people like Lindsey Graham. I mean, he was fuming earlier this morning. Fuming. Look at this man's face. Red as an apple. Look at this. Red as a strawberry. Look at that cortisol in the face. Really, really, really stressed out. Looks like he's going to have an aneurysm. Look at this. He wants Iran regime change now. Okay? Newt Gingrich has also warned of EMP strikes in his book that he recommended to Congress. And he spoke yesterday, which was a subtle tell on that. Recommended the book 1 second after when an EMP hits the United States. So allegedly, and these are all lies, this is all BS, Donald Trump ain't told what to do. Okay, allegedly the fake news was saying, Benjamin Netanyahu called it off. No, that's not true at all. Oh, Saudi Arabia, Qatar influenced Donald Trump to call off the airstrikes. No way. Look, you don't position the entire American fleet, all of our assets, Palantir, Anduril, the drones, the autonomous machines, superhuman men in suits with X-ray vision that can bead through your skin, and Havana syndrome type weapons that'll make you throw up BLOD all over yourself and bring you to your knees unless you plan a massive event. And I'm telling you too, expect a false, you know what, right? I have to screw with the algorithms here. You know, a flag? Like one of those. Okay? So understand that truth. Also, the Dow Jones Industrial Average pumping on fakeness and absolute hyperinflationary collapse of the US dollar has on its sights 50,000 DJIA. So I'm expecting 50K plus in the Dow. This is coming. Trump is also threatening tariffs on every country that does not comply with our takeover of Greenland. So there was large threats made earlier this morning as well. So again, what are the big factors here? Civil unrest on the ground, pandemonium, ICE roundups, Greenland attacks, bluffs on Iran, captures of Nicolas Maduro and others, True Social Post, yo-yoing the markets back and forth, right? All a part of the setup. So understand, this is all a part of the setup. Now, the good news is, during maximum chaos in the United States and worldwide are the biggest profit opportunities of your life. During chaos and fear and lockdowns and war and captures and volatility on the stock market and market crashes and market pumps, that's when you're going to make the most money. So it's a huge opportunity as long as you're taking my advice, right? You're in crypto, decentralized assets, you're in real estate, you're in Bitcoin. You've been dominating in gold and silver. I've been recommending in gold and silver, recommending that for over 2 decades. But I've also told you to take some profits recently, and that's actually happening today. In fact, the big headline story was that gold drops as profit taking is taking place. Because smart money like myself and institutions are taking some profits. Why wouldn't you? I mean, silver's up huge. Of course you're going to take some profits, especially with country-specific risk. Understand you want to be diversified. You don't want to have all of your eggs in one basket. If your home country implodes and capital controls and collapse, it's not going to be easy to load up your pickup truck with all your gold and silver in your backpack and go cross-border through customs. They're going to seize your stuff. Okay? Your only options will be burying it like they did in the 1930s during the Great Depression. And when they did it during confiscation. Let's not forget, your government confiscated your gold not too long ago. So again, we're in a Bretton Woods reset. We're in an economic U.S. fiat dollar hegemonic collapse. The petrodollar is finished. They're moving us to a digital dollar. They're resetting Western hemispheric controls. We are decoupling from the world system. I've got to screw with the algorithms. But you know how they say the earth is a ball, right? It's not. It's a dome. They're decoupling from that. So what we have is a bipolar world. Literally, like what's going on, it's bipolar mentally. But in addition to that, it's bipolar strategically, governmentally. You've got China. Donald Trump has made a deal with Taiwan. And again, they're moving all these chess pieces. Ukraine, flashpoint of World War III, negotiations with Putin, right? Greenland, what we're seeing with Iran, Israel, national security, and then pandemonium all across social media. Understand you're being controlled by AI now. You're being controlled by deep fakes. You're being controlled by psychological algorithms. These are vast simulative networks of psychological control integrated into the deep state. Grok just signed a giant contract with the Pentagon and the DOD, proving my point. Just like all of these other companies, it's all psychological control. The American people now, instead of watching their boob tube, right? The TV was the only source of propaganda. They're now watching the co-opted social media propaganda and thinking it's real. Oh, this podcast seems so interesting. Yeah, it's actually CIA deep state assets that you're tuned into. So understand where we're headed, understand the gravity of this, and understand Donald Trump has his hand on the trigger, and he will pull it. Do not believe for a minute he stepped back. This is the Sun Tzu art of war, right? Position your assets, then tell everyone you backtracked while you strike. Again, it's a bluff. He's at the poker table. Okay, so understand what is going on. The whole world, the real players have already been notified. We all know what's going to happen next. And by the way, let's explain that. After the successful regime change of Iran, at the very least, Donald Trump needs to peacefully, even if he didn't authorize surgical strikes, would still replace Khamenei, right? That's going to be done one way or another. But when that happens, because markets like certainty and stability to a certain extent, that'll be very bullish. It's a giant setup for the golden age. Just think about this. A successful Iran regime change provides economic security to the region of the Middle East, right? Protects Israel, America's greatest ally, right? And then the fears will kind of calm down in Saudi Arabia and Qatar. And if that goes through and Donald Trump pulls it off, bullish, man. That is so bullish. You know, fears will start to de-escalate, right? People will still be on edge. But I'm telling you right now, we're at DEFCON 1. And that's never going to be announced by the deep state. You think they'd announce it to the American people? You're at DEFCON 1? Of course not. They wouldn't tell you anything. It's on a need-to-know basis. Okay? So it's going to be a big weekend. I'll be reporting. Again, I'm going private on X. You can follow me there for free at 150K followers, meaning if you don't get in now and follow me on X here at AMTV Media, right here, you'll never follow me. Going private, guys. Okay, I can only respond to so many people. And I like a smaller, private, more boutique community anyway. So make sure you follow me on X at AMTV Media. Get in. I'm doing a hard-hitting and in-your-face little short clips. And also we'll be updating you on the latest events this weekend. So I love you guys. What do? You get out of the banks now. Prepare for bank runs and capital controls. There's going to be more chaos. Buy as much Bitcoin as you possibly can. Build your portfolio allocations of crypto. Don't use any debt. Own real estate, physical assets with us. No bank debt. Get your cash flows up. Get your capital gains up. 1000x with our tokenization launch. That's what you get. I have to say, see our terms and disclaimers, not a financial advisor. But all of our members get to enjoy, use, live their investment, capital gains, cash flows, plus separately the 1000x potential tokenization event. You can't do that anywhere else in the world. Build up your communities. Get exercise, okay? Stay really healthy and jacked. Get prepared, okay? Go for a walk. Get your food. Get your water. Pray to God. Get in the Bible every single day. Things are going hot. And this is what I'm telling you. This is an emergency alert. It's coming this weekend. Prepare now at all costs and share this video to God, faith first individuals worldwide. Guys, it's going to get lit very soon.